It's been a week and I have some updates for you as far as my team goes and my YouTube automation strategy. What I was saying before was, am I proud of the videos I make? Would I watch them? And I took a good look at some of the videos, and some of them I wouldn't. And it was like upsetting but enlightening to realize that I've gone this long to realize, hey, maybe some of these videos aren't the best. And so I had to take a bird's eye view and see, like, what can I do? And so what I decided to do was just increase the guidelines, like update them even more, but also give examples. So I went ahead and did Google presentations. I went ahead and shared them with my team members, specifically the video editors and my script editor, but I'll get into that in a minute. I basically outlined what I specifically liked about the best performing video that they made. Not the best performing one, but the best one that I liked. And so I laid out, this is the good things about it, and then laid out some minor changes. And it wasn't a lot of changes, but there were some things like I wanted to move away from like cheesy stock footage, because there's some footage that I don't like, which might be like some just people on screen kind of going like, or like, that's just not the kind of stuff I like for that content. So we end up staying away from that. And with that, I gave them access to, no, I didn't give them access. I got Envato Elements, so now I can give that access to all my editors so they can go ahead and use. And now hopefully the quality for stock footage is going to be a lot higher this time. And the way I went ahead and presented all this was actually finally meeting my team members. And it's kind of embarrassing to say, but I've gone 4.5 months and I've just met some of my team members like face to face. The first one I started off with was my voiceover actor. He's been with me since the beginning, and he's also helped me basically get more talent, which is another scriptwriter that he handles, and then 2 other video editors, which he handles as well too. So I talk through him, and then he sources those 3 other people that I don't talk to. So I don't have any other info, nothing, but it's working out so far and the quality's great. So I finally got a chance to talk to him. He was just as nice as his texts are, so I'm really happy about that. I went over everything like that, what I like, what I didn't like, and just my appreciation overall, because you can only say so many things over text, but like with the face-to-face, even if it's just a camera, you could just like feel the emotion. And, once I got a chance to actually talk to him, I could tell that he is invested, in this, like he wants to see it grow. And what I ended up doing was giving him more access to the back end, well, actual access. So I went ahead and let him see my full analytics so he can see the whole breakdown, see the views, see the click-through rates, the retention, the whole thing. And then he can also see my revenue that's being generated, because I want to be as open as possible to him to let him know, hey, listen, this is where we're at right now. And, the reason I can only go so high in like expenses is because it's still not profitable. And so when it is profitable, then, of course, he'll be earning more. And then I also let him know about the channel manager position that I want him to take on later on if he's open to it. He was really appreciative and open about the idea, but he said that's really not what he wants to do, not for him. But he said he has a few friends that, do currently do that kind of stuff in managerial roles. So he said he'd recommend me one of his friends if he wants to, and or if I want to. And I'm like, yeah, of course. And I talked to him more about like what his goals are, because he's currently doing like a media company as well. He's also in school, so time is of his essence. So he's currently in computer science, which is pretty cool, because that was something I would have been interested in the past too, but not anymore. So we talked a little bit about that, how everything's going, his crazy hectic schedule, because this dude's up at like still up at 5 a.m. when it's 5 p.m. for me. And yeah, his schedule is kind of all over the place, but that's what works for him. And so as far as managerial role goes, since he doesn't want to do it, that was fine. So I let him know what the plans are for the future, let him know like what some improvements can be done as far as script writing goes, and as far as voiceovers for him, some things I thought could be implemented, like showing more emotion and then talking to the camera, talking to the microphone as if you're talking to a friend. I think that'll also help portray the emotion more in the faceless videos. And he even said it himself that he does do those things, like he does gestures and whatnot, and tries to portray as much emotion in those. So I was appreciative of that. And as far as moving forward with him goes, I also let him know like what I want to do. You're my team member, you've been doing good, as long as you're loyal, I want to get him some more equipment. He has his own microphone as well too. He has his like pop filter, but I want to get him something a little bit better, as long as he still wants to continue, being on the team and being the voiceover guy. So he was receptive to that and was really appreciative. And I also let him know like, hey, listen, I know if I get you a better mic, he technically does have the option to go and ask for a higher price to other people. But at the moment, well, what he said is I was his main priority as far as clients go. I was his first client too. So there's like that connection built up because, he was my one of my first voiceover guys. Actually, he was my first voiceover guy. I hired him first. He worked on my team first before the other voiceover guy. So he technically is my first voiceover guy. So what I also ended up doing was finally meeting my scriptwriter. She was the one that had more trouble with the scripts. Things have gotten a lot better, but things can get even more improved with the introductions. So I went ahead and did that. I also updated the guideline. I did a scriptwriter guideline 4.0 because there have been 4 revisions on that, just because I kept changing things and then switching things up. But I think now is the almost perfect revision. And so I did that. I gave it to her, and I also went over one of her script examples, went over another script example that I like, and just showed her like a process for writing introductions, which was her weakness. And I think that's really going to make a difference for them, because as far as the new scripts goes, they looked a lot easier to read and then like cleaner to hear. So there's definitely been improvement just from implementing that. So I know I'm in the right direction, and I think this month is going to be really, no, I don't think, I know this month's going to go really well as opposed to last month in October. I know I say that every month, but it's the truth. There's always changes and positive things made because there's always improvement made. And so that's that for my scriptwriter. I still have to go ahead and meet my thumbnail designer. I didn't get a chance to do that yet, but I'll do that as well too, because I want to meet him and just, say hi, and then kind of plans moving forward, and then, go from there. So that's that with my current team, current changes, and now for new team members. So I went ahead and wanted a new video editor because remember that last editor who left? I wanted to go ahead and grab another editor, hire another person to go ahead and see what they can do. So I went ahead and interviewed and hired him. And the way I got him was from online jobs, but I didn't go for him directly from there because since I am in Ryan Hildreth's course, I have access to basically his acquisition team, which basically, if you need a team member, they go ahead and send you a person. You can hire them. You can hire them if you want. And since I used him for like my first video editor, I'm like, sure, I'll go ahead and try that again. And he's been good so far. I told him about like what things need to be changed. He went ahead and was receptive, changed the whole thing. He just messaged me right before this too, so I have to check out the revisions. But I went ahead and made him a Loom video just to show like my feedback. And I think that really helped too, because before I just used to use screenshots and text, and it just got a lot, and it looked like kind of spammy because you could see all the text of like, hey, this is good. Can you change this? Can you change this? This is really good. I like this. And just doing a video, at least you can always go back and refer to it. So that's something new I've started doing too. And oh yeah, I also did the right thing this time. And now before I hire any person, I am doing face-to-face meetings with them. I'm a lot more comfortable doing that too. And also, there's no reason why I shouldn't. Like, you can tell on camera, if they want to work, want to do it, you can hear a little bit more of their motivation in their voice. At least that's what I like to think so. And so I think he's going to be a good hire so far. And so a few days ago, I was also looking for another team member, and this was for my search-based tutorial channel, like a how-to channel. I finally found another team member for that, and I just hired him yesterday, and his name is also Chris, like me. Got him all enrolled in, onboarded, so now he can use Trello, and then I gave him all my Loom videos, so like the training videos of what's expected. I gave him access to my account so he can go ahead and actually upload the videos. Not full access, but editor limited access. And now as far as shorts, I was saying there were some things that needed to be fixed, and they have been fixed, but they still haven't been fully fixed. I still saw some errors in them. I was thinking of like, hey, is this the time to potentially let go of him? But before that, I didn't want to do that yet because I never made him a training video, a full-on sample of something that I made. So that's what I decided to do. I went ahead and just made an example video myself. I made a short. I put a song. I put the subtitles. Did everything manually there. Put it centered it how I wanted to. Put a different font too, so you can change that. Shrunk it a little bit more because originally his watermark was too big, and then afterwards it was much better. But I still wanted it a little smaller, so I made those changes. I recorded a Loom side by side with the script and the video that I made, and then the changes I've made, and he's been receptive to that. And so then I assigned him his next video so he can do it one by one this time, just so I could see what he does and make sure that there's improvement. Because if there isn't and there's no receptiveness to it, then I have to be a little bit more strict this time. And also remember that this is a business, and so if those things aren't followed and I make them clear, then that shouldn't be somebody that should be working with. So that's the thing I'm gonna change now about it. But yeah, that's what's been going on so far, and there's a lot more things to come. So I'm really excited for this month and what's gonna happen. And hopefully you guys like seeing this journey. And I don't know if you know, but I also made a second channel just to kind of document even more raw things throughout the week. I posted a bunch of shorts, so if you're interested in that, I went ahead and put the link down below. And also, if you guys are interested in just starting a faceless channel, whether it be search based, whether it be shorts, or whether it just be browse, then there's a link down below. It'll take you to some free training, and it'll also take you to a Discord group that I'm in. So just go ahead and click it. All you gotta do is put your email and access it, and I'll see you on the inside. And until next time, bye.